Good morning, every person in the universe.
Well, that's big.
We actually had a lot of people view our show last week.
We did.
Yeah, it was really kind of astounding because, we're just getting started on our Real Estate Love video blog. And so it's kind of fun to see it kind of grow a little bit. I'd like to encourage you to like our broadcast, and we'd like to encourage you to subscribe on YouTube, and we'd like to hear your comments also.
We love comments.
Yes. I'm Brian Martin.
And I'm Jennifer Martin.
And this is Real Estate Love. Jennifer and I have been in the real estate business for a long time now. And in fact, we've been in the real estate business for 4 generations.
We have. That's a long time.
Not us. But our real estate firm was started by Jennifer's father back in 1980s. And then Jennifer took it over. And we have all 4 of our grown adult children that are involved in our real estate businesses. And now we have a grandson also that's in the business as well.
It's really exciting to work with people.
I know, it is.
Who you're blood related to.
I know. Family businesses are very interesting animals. And I'm surprised about how many real estate firms actually have that are family businesses.
There's quite a few.
Yeah, even in our town in Fresno, California, there's some of the largest firms are family-based, family centered. So it's our privilege and our honor to come to you and to share with you insights about real estate. Our fervent hope and desire is for real estate agents and all those people that are in allied businesses and companies. It's our fervent desire to strengthen your home and to build your business.
Well, by strengthening your home, it creates safety. And so you feel more confident to be able to go out and have a great business.
That's right. And you have to have safety.
And Brian, it can also work the other way.
How's that?
Well, if you feel safe at work, and if you feel like you are supported, encouraged, loved, believed in, empowered, you can oftentimes come to work and feel great and be able to leave work and fight the battles that you fight in life.
That's right.
So
today our focus is going to be on your family of origin, or what we call your community. I'm going to show you the iconic model that we use. So there it is. And you can see that the home is a circle that's precariously balancing on that fulcrum down there in the bottom. And there are these 4 universal pressures that are constantly being exerted on the home that kind of make it feel wobbly every once in a while on that balancing home. It's money, it's what we call FOO, which is family of origin, which is what your community is. And then we also have health and then culture down here as well. Today we'll be talking about this one here, there you go, and how that works in your life. Hey, Jennifer, yesterday I got to teach a class called Building Your Business.
Oh, that was fun.
It was fun. It was all about how to create a database and how to nurture it and develop it, because we know that most of an agent's business comes from their database.
That's true.
And so I set out to share with everybody about how to build their database and what they needed to do.
Oftentimes people need to know how to think about that. And so I'm sure that in presenting that, you were able to give them a new way to think about a database. I think sometimes people think very linear, and it's much more than that.
Yeah, a lot of people think that a database is something that you use, that you capitalize on. That it's like something that you can take advantage of or manipulate. Like you're selling to them or something like that.
Right.
I see it totally different than that.
Well, how do you see it?
Well, So there's Darby's Law. You know what Darby's Law is?
No, I haven't heard of Darby's Law.
Well, if you get a chance, you should Google that, and you'll discover that Darby is the person who found out that the maximum number that an individual can have where they're effective in connecting with people, their group of people around them. Do you know what that number is?
Well, so I think I do know the number, so I must know Darby's Law. I just didn't know it was Darby's Law. 200?
It's 150.
150?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we hear 200 when we go to conferences and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's 150 is what his law says. And so that means that there's 150 people that we can connect with and talk with about real estate.
Well, and those 150 people probably know people.
Yes, and imagine this. What if 150 people had 150 people in their circle of influence? Do you know what 150 times 150 is? I do.
Well, why don't you tell me?
22,500.
Really?
Yeah. Now, that's just a number, right? But it's a big number.
It is a big number.
Yeah, and if you could connect with that many people, then wow.
That's
In the book, The Millionaire Real Estate Agent book by Gary Keller, he says that if you have a certain number of people that are in your network, in your database, then you will be a millionaire real estate agent if you can learn how to work with them. In fact, there's two groups. He calls the Mets and the not Mets. So there's a number for the Mets and there's a number for the not Mets. Do you happen to know what the number is for the Mets?
I want to say it's 1980.
1920.
1900.
You know, you are amazing. You get a gold star for that one too.
You give gold stars easily.
Well, that's a fascinating number, and that came from his research. So if you had 1920 in your database, then and if you were touching them appropriately, because you have to touch appropriately, right?
Right.
then you can have a $1 million real estate business. And for the non-Mets, do you happen to know what the number for the non-Mets is?
I don't.
Non-Mets, by the way, are the people that you haven't met yet.
So.
And the Mets are the people that you have met.
So it could be the people in the phone book.
It could be
non-Mets.
16,000.
I was going to say 12, but I thought
That's
that was
16,000. Yeah. So that's interesting that those numbers aren't too different. I mean, the 22,500 is not too much different than the 16,000. Well, you know, it is, but it's relative.
Like all of us, right?
Yeah, that's right. Now, what's interesting about that is that this is that's our community. That's the people that we know and we are going to know, and the people that we relate to. They're part of our network. I heard a really great TED Talk the other day about networking, and it was about how trees in the forest network.
Well, I didn't know that, but tell me about it.
Well, I'm going to right now.
Okay, good.
So what happens is that there was a scientist who was wondering, how if there's some kind of communication that goes on between trees in the forest, and she discovered yes, there is. And she did it by doing some experiments and here and there, and she found out that they actually communicate to each other. And there's this large underground network that's you can't see. You see the forest for the trees, but there is this large, incredible network underneath where they're communicating and where they're participating and where they're helping each other. And I just thought, what a beautiful metaphor for the way that people work together in a network. And a database is a network. It's a place where we can relate to other people. Let me share with you something that's really important about communities and in nature, trees. It turns out that some trees support other trees, and they have a specific role. And there are some trees that have like a parenting type of a role, and there's other trees that are helping type of roles. Just like in the community, there's different people that have different roles. And this made me think of a word that I love called differentiating. I love the word differentiating.
I know you do.
Because in a community, people have different roles that differentiate themselves from others. So can you think of, in a community of a community of 22,000 people, what kind of individuals might have specific roles that differentiate them from others?
Yes, I can.
Name a couple.
Well, so you could have someone, I mean, we could actually go into their job title roles.
Yeah, go ahead.
So
What
you
are
could
people?
have a contractor, you could have a
Contractor.
teacher,
You
you
have a
could have
teacher.
a preacher, you
A
could
preacher.
have a seamstress, you
A
could
seamstress.
have
All right, take the preacher one
an
because
accountant.
I like the preacher one. How is a preacher differentiated?
Well, he's differentiated because
Let me tell you.
Okay, good.
The preacher has different skills, talents, gifts, and tools that he or she brings to bear to benefit the entire community.
So does the contractor.
And so does the realtor. Hello. Right?
Yes, it's true.
All right, so in a community, how is a realtor or a real estate agent or anybody in the real estate community differentiated from others that are in the community?
Well, by bringing our skills, our talents, and our gifts to bear in the community.
Yes.
To use.
To use.
In the community.
To use in the community.
And so if we're part of that community, we need to be using our gifts to help our community.
And even in the community, in our business, in our company on Tuesdays at 4:00, we have a contract strategies class. Jennifer teaches it, and she's been teaching it for years and years and years. And she brings her gifts, her skills, her talents, and tools to bear in the wisdom and the experience that she's garnered over a 30-year period of time. And I was sitting and I was watching you interact with the agents, and you had differentiated yourself. You were the broker, and you were different than the agents. You took your gifts, your skills, your talents, your tools, your experience, and your wisdom, and you brought it to bear in that network.
Well, and what's really fun in doing that is that it really helps each of them think differently about what they're doing.
In other words, your role, your differentiated self, has meaning and significance in the community. That's really cool. And I'm going to say this because this is a really radical statement and it's a really cool statement, so be prepared. When people are differentiated, when they use their gifts, their skills, their talents, and their tools in their community, what they're really doing is that they're loving their community. Because using your gifts, your skills, your tools, and your talents is loving people. It's action. You care for them. And so you're bringing to bear all of these beautiful things.
What a great thought.
I know. And here's the beautiful thought. Realtor, real estate agent, that's what you do in your community. You're differentiated. You have a specific role. You have a purpose. You have gifts and skills and talents that you bring to bear in your community. And guess what? The community needs you.
Amen.
They need you because they have a home that they need to buy, they need to sell, they need to invest. And so the community needs you. And one of the problems that in the class, somebody said to me, she said, I hate to call people because I feel like I'm imposing myself on them. And I wanted to say, wait a minute, wake up and smell the coffee. You have gifts and skills and talents and tools to bring to bear to help your community. You're the real estate agent. You're the real estate specialist. You're the one who can teach and share with people about the real estate economy and what's happening in the market.
Well, you're the local expert.
You're the local expert. And the community needs you. Now, if you call somebody up and they say, hey, I'm busy right now, I can't talk with you, that's not about you. Because what you're doing is that you're bringing your gifts and your skills and your talents and your tools to bear in your community. You're helping out the community. Hey, I'm just checking in with you. Who do you know that needs to buy or sell or invest in real estate? Because the underlying statement that's not articulated there, because I'm the real estate expert in the community and I help people. It'd be like a doctor calling up and saying, hey, who do you know that needs to see a doctor today?
Well, it's funny you should say that, because I was thinking both Joanna and Jared have doctors who literally reach out to them and say, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
What is different about us calling people and asking them, who do you know that needs to buy, sell, invest in real estate that I can help, that I can really participate with in helping? So this idea of having a database that's a tool that you manipulate to grow your business misses the point entirely. I mean, yes, when a doctor or a lawyer or a chiropractor or somebody in retail says, hey, how can I help you? There's some benefit and there's some reciprocity there. Yes, we're going to get paid for what we do, and because of the nature of our business, we're going to get paid well. But that's not the important part. When you're connecting to your community, when you're connecting to your family of origin, when you're connecting to your database, you are loving them. You are helping them because you're bringing your gifts and your skills and your talents to bear in your community.
That change in focus can change lives.
That change in focus can change lives. It can change your life, real estate agent, escrow officer, lender, insurance person. It can change your life, and it can change the life of the people that you connect with. Never again. I proclaim. Never again shall you see you're using your database as anything other than bringing your gifts and your skills and your talents to bear in your community, where you are differentiated as the real estate agent. And by your actions, you are going to be loving the people that you are helping.
What a great thought.
Isn't that a great thought?
It's a really great thought.
It's a really great thought. I like that. I want that to get into your head, because home is the most important place in the universe. It really is. It's the most important place in the universe. And home is where we specialize in helping people.
That's a great thought.
It's a great thought.
What a great talk today on community.
I know. Now, I want to talk a little bit about how you nurture and how you feed and how you grow your database, your network, your community, and how you expand your ability to help.
That sounds like a good topic.
It's a good topic. It won't take very long.
Okay.
Right. So, Jennifer, do you meet people every day?
Every day. New people, do you mean?
New people, old people, people that aren't in your database?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you know, Jennifer, that you have a responsibility to add them to your database?
And sometimes I forget.
Yes. Well, let me help you with that. Because every day you're going to be meeting people. Every day you're going to be meeting people that need to be added into your database. And I'm going to give you a number that's going to help you to grow your database by 1,000 people in 1 year.
That sounds like 3 a day.
That's 3 a day.
I did quick math.
Yes, you did. When you are out in the community, when you're talking to people, then you can add them to your database.
I think there's undoubtedly a script, but sometimes it's difficult to say to somebody, or we seem to think it's difficult to say, well, hi, I'm Jennifer Martin and you're Brian Martin, and I'd love to add you to my database.
Oh, well, let me help you with that.
Okay.
All right. So do you remember when our kids were growing up and they started going to school?
I do remember that.
Yeah. Well, if we were smart at that time, we would have helped our children to start building their database, their network.
It would have been a really smart thing to do.
It would have really been a smart thing. We would have helped our children by connecting with people and, excuse me, and keeping record of who was in their database.
Can you imagine having all those years? Let's say your child is in a class of 30.
Uh-huh.
And of course they know kids in other classes.
Yes.
And if they made it a practice of getting their name, their address, and their phone number,
Uh-huh.
and as kids they can easily do that.
Right.
And then you help them create that database, the number of people that they would have, and they could stay in contact with.
And we actually did a form of this when we moved to Fresno. We moved to Fresno because it was a great place to grow a family, and we wanted stability for our kids. And so all of our kids went to Fresno schools, and then they went to Fresno State University. And now, because of all of their networking that they've done, you can hardly go anywhere in Fresno without them knowing somebody. And what is there? 500,000 people in Fresno?
Well, 1 million in the county.
1 million in the county. And so that's a good number of people. And wherever they go, they know somebody. But if they would have kept in contact with them,
or written down their name.
Or something like that, then they would have had this incredible way to offer their gifts and their skills and their talents and tools to a much broader network. And networking is a really, really great thing to do. And in the book called, Adam Grant's book called Give and Take, there's a chapter, I just happen to have it right here on my desk. There's a chapter in it. This is a really great book. Read this book. And there's a really great chapter in here about networking. It's just a phenomenal chapter about an individual who is networking with people.
Well, you know what would be fun if you started that with your children, to be able to help them send out Christmas cards or to send out.
Well, here's the point where I was getting to.
Okay.
A monthly newsletter that offers really great information, just a way to get out there and to be in the front of people's minds, from their family, from your home. So if there's children that are still living at your home, it's the Martin Family Newsletter. And in it, you just describe newsy things that are happening with your family, what's going on. Our children are going to soccer camp this month, or stuff like that. That's kind of interesting, kind of fun. Maybe some things that are happening in the community, but it's something of value. It's newsy, it's resourceful, and it's something that you can just give to everybody that's in your community once a month. And you can either email it, or you can post it on Facebook, or I think it's best to actually use snail mail and to have it delivered to somebody's house. How nice is it to get something that's a newsy little newsletter to stand there and to read before you throw it away?
Well, it is. And it just makes you feel closer to that person, that family.
Right.
Like you know them.
Right.
How nice is that?
Isn't that nice?
Well, and if you get your kids involved in it.
If you get your family involved, the people who live in your home, get them all involved. It'd be really great.
It would be.
Yeah.
What a nice monthly activity.
Yeah, and it could be, you could do things special for the holidays and stuff like that. Real simple, real easy.
Draw a Christmas card.
But you're just going out and you say, hey, everybody, and then, by the way, I'm your local real estate expert, and if you know anybody who needs to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, I'm here to help. Boom. Bada boom, bada bing.
What a great idea.
I have a whole lot of ideas about what you can do to connect with your community. And as you can see, we have a really beautiful idea about your community, your database. It is the most important resource that you have for your business as a real estate agent. And if you'd like to have some more information about that, just say so in the comments, and we'll try to get you something good that will be helpful for you. And please feel free to like us, to make comments, to
subscribe,
to follow us, And if you'll do that, then you'll give us the opportunity to use our gifts, our skills, our talents, and our tools to help agents all over the world, and especially in the United States and Canada, help agents to strengthen their family and to grow their business. I'm Brian Martin.
And I'm Jennifer Martin.
And it's our pleasure to be with you and to serve you like this. And we look forward to talking with you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.